Hello there, Ray here, and Minecraft has released a new snapshot for the 1.13.2, and this is pre-release 2, and they came up with a second pre-release to fix some bugs that were introduced with the first one, as well as fix some old 1.13 bugs. And there also has been some news about 1.14, which I'll also talk about at the end of the video. So the first bug that they fixed was one to do with the new spawning that they introduced in 1.13.2 pre-release 1, and this is where mobs would not be able to spawn if they are farther than 128 meters sphere around the player, and this really improves the performance of the game, but there was a problem because when the game was spawning in these mobs, it had a tendency to favor some directions. So a lot of things in Minecraft are directional, like the game will start spawning stuff in one direction and then work its way to the other side. So it's really likely that the game was pretty much filling up its spawns in one direction. It would never reach the other sides. So it ended up there not being hardly any mobs that were spawning in the negative Z direction. It's possible that the game was also not placing many also in the positive X, because a lot of times south and east go together in this game, as well as north and west. A lot of things like rails will be like northwest dependent, where some other things will be like southeast dependent. So that's something to keep in mind when working with different stuff. And this bug is fixed. As you can see, there is mobs spawning in the positive Z, as well as pretty much every other direction. They fixed a bug when upgrading your world to pre-release 1 is that when you would fly around to some of those old chunks that you used to generate, they wouldn't load and the game would just throw some errors. Then end up just being a big hole in your world. They fixed a crashing bug, which was occurring when people would generate a new world, like a custom world, with terrain very high up at the top of the world. Every time they would load it, it would just instantly crash. Another crashing bug was fixed, and this was to do with the rendering of block entities, and something like an ender chest was causing problems, which was causing the game to repeatedly crash. And this bug was first reported in 1.3.0, so it's been in the game for a bit. They fixed a bug to do with custom spawn eggs. So here's one that is a zombie horror spawn egg, but it can like produce a chicken. You can make them customized, make it like produce giants or whatever you want. And there was a problem with this because it was also possible for you to make weird spawn eggs. This was allowing people to execute commands arbitrarily by using this. So apparently it was a security risk, so they went ahead and fixed it. So the last bug that they fixed was a bug to do with written books. If you'd have this written book in a chunk in like 1.8, and then you'd upgrade all the way up to 1.13 and you reload that chunk, the title of the book, which is right here, would be converted over into invalid book tag, and this was causing problems with people that were upgrading their worlds, so they went ahead and fixed this. This book fix is probably related to a sneak peek that they showed of some things they've been working in 1.14. So this is an image that Darebone tweeted out just a couple hours ago, and this is a lectern, which is kind of like a stand where you put your book on. A lot of people, like when they talk in a speech or something, they'll have one of these. They have their papers on top of it, and they'll read off of it. This was a really old project that Darebone was working on back in 2013. I guess he picked it up again, and he's introduced it into 1.14. And the way that this item would work is that you put a book on it, and then people could right-click on it and then read it without having to have multiple books for each person. So let's say you have like a lobby for your spawn, and it has the rules. People can come up to this, click in it, then they could read the book, and then other people could come up into it, click into it, and read the book as well. That way you wouldn't need a whole bunch of signs to illustrate all the rules and stuff that go along with your spawn. Darebone, as well as Rock and Roll for Life, also made a comment about this structure, how the lectern could have a redstone component come out of it. So possibly if there was a book in it, then it would have like a comparator with a signal strength, or depending on how many people are reading it, the signal strength would come out of it. So they are going to try to add some redstone aspects into this, it sounds like. That's one of the things that Rock and Roll for Life talked about when we talked to him in Discord, is that he says a lot of times they come up with a component such as this, and then later on they'll give it a redstone aspect to the game. So it's really easy for them to come up with new redstone stuff just by doing this. So it's really exciting to maybe possibly have a new redstone component to add, but since also the redstone component was kind of a second-hand thought, it would make it harder to introduce into other redstone builds. So it would be nice if they came up with a redstone component that was mostly focused on redstone, but it also had additional features. So Darebone also tweeted out this picture here, which is Lady Agnes looking at this picture over here. And it's just some sticky notes, and it shows a little creeper face here. And a lot of people are thinking this is supposed to be a calendar. These are supposed to be the weekends. I'm not sure what type of calendar this is, because usually weekends, Sunday is the first day of the week, so it'd be over here. So I don't know if they have a different type of calendar where all the weekends are squished to one end. Kind of looks a little strange, but according to this, it looks like the 24th is possibly the day that they're going to start releasing some of the first snapshots for Java to do with 1.14. They also said that they're going to come out with 1.13.2 full release on Monday, and then it sounds like shortly after they're going to start introducing the 1.14 snapshots. I love if you guys would be part of the discussion. A lot of times we have the Minecraft developers join our voice chat. We get to talk to them, and that's all on our Discord. I'll put the Discord link down in the description. This is also a really good spot to go, and if you have any questions, ask it in our public chat. A lot of times the guys will come and help. You also can see all the other ProtoTech members when they upload videos, as well as when they go live streaming. You can check that all out and see all the other crazy stuff that's going on with the ProtoTech server. A lot of times people give little snapshots of different stuff they're working on. So just stop by and say hi to everybody. It's a really nice community and a great place to learn about different stuff that's going on in Minecraft. It's going to be nice when they introduce the 1.13.2 full release. That way people can upgrade their servers as well as the single player worlds and play it without having to deal with most of the issues that came with 1.13. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you guys found this interesting, show me with a like and share this with others. If you'd like to see more snapshot reviews for the future of 1.14 and beyond, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notifications when those go live. And if you have any suggestions for the Village and Pillage update of 1.14, tell us in the comments as well as on our Discord. Bye bye.